sessions. So welcome to all of you, Shiksha 360, and today basically we will start chapter number 9 of the PPB. Clear? Basically this chapter constitutes, we can say that, two questions. Clear? We can expect that 2 to 3 questions, or we can simple language we can say that 1 or 1.5 marks question basically from this chapter. So let's start our discussion. This topic basically chapter number 9 basically will consist of 2 sessions. Clear? This is the first session, so let's start our discussion. So alliance, merger and consolidation. Clear? Alliance, merger and consolidation. Chapter number 9, part 1. So let's discuss, and in this session, basically after the session, you are able to understand what is alliance, what is merger, and what is consolidation. Clear? What is the basic difference between these three things? The first one here is to be the alliance. First of all, basically we have to discuss regarding the alliances. So alliances basically what is that? Basically alliance basically it is a formal and mutually agreed. Clear? Formal and mutually agreed to commercial collaborations. Clear? Formal and mutually agreed to commercial collaborations between the companies. Clear? Basically between the companies. The partner pools, exchange, the partners basically what they will do. Like this is one company, this one is another. Clear? The partners pool, exchange, or integrate specific business resources. Clear? The partners pool, exchange, or integrate specific business resources. Basically for what? For the mutual gain, yet they remain separate business. Clear? Basically two companies basically will collaborate. C1, C2. Clear? Basically for what? Basically for the mutual gain. Their business will be remain separate. Clear? Their business will be remain separate. So it is a synergistic arrangement. Clear? It is a synergistic arrangement whereby, clear, it is a synergistic arrangement whereby two or more organizations, clear, it is a synergistic arrangement whereby two or more organizations agree to cooperate in the operation of the business activity. Clear? Basically to cooperate in the operation of the business activity where each involved company brings different strengths and capabilities to the arrangement. Clear? Like company 1 is basically having different technology, company 2 is having different technology. Clear? Both of will collaborate to work in any specific field. Clear? That is basically where technology of both these companies is to be required. Clear? Where technology of both these companies is to be required, that is basically beneficial for the overall organization. Clear? That is basically beneficial for the overall organization. Clear? That is basically known as the alliance. Now move to the next one. Clear? Basically why alliances? Clear? Basically why there is alliances, and is alliances basically we can say that basically it is always beneficial, or sometimes basically there is a problem under that. So alliance contracts basically it is an excellent vehicle to obtain market growth amid the rapidly changing market conditions. Clear? Alliances is very beneficial. Clear? Because as the passage of the time, basically we know that basically technology is continuously upgrading. Clear? And it is very difficult to maintain the upgraded technology. Clear? And it is very difficult to maintain the upgraded technology. So basically at that time, basically alliances is very beneficial. Clear? Alliances can also help us. Alliances can also help construct broader business systems. Clear? Alliances can also help construct broader business systems by linking a company's internal core competencies. Clear? Basically by linking a company's internal core competencies basically with the best of breed capabilities of its allies. Allies basically we can say that basically of its competence. Clear? So alliances can also help construct broader business systems. Clear? Broader business systems by linking a company's internal core competencies. Clear? By linking a company's internal core competencies basically with the best of breed capabilities of its allies. But not all alliances succeed. Clear? That I am already said. Clear? Basically, but not all the alliances basically succeed. Clear? Almost 2 in 1 basically fails. Clear? We can say that basically if there are 2 alliances, so out of that basically 1 alliance will fail and 1 will successful. Clear? That is, there is basically 50% successful basically among that. So what are the reasons? Basically problematic alliances. Clear? Problematic alliances basically which are not successful. can be the result of many factors. Like first one is industry dynamics, for example, regulatory changes or new technologies, new entrants, or the economic cycles. Clear? These are the different things basically which will create the problem. Clear? Problematic alliances basically can be the result of many factors. Like first one is the industry dynamics, for example, regulatory changes. Second one is the new technologies. Third one is the new entrants, or fourth one is the economic cycle. Clear? Economic cycle. So that is basically alliances basically for what, and what are the reasons behind that. Sometimes basically it will not successful. Clear? So further, the ability to weather external forces, that is to bear external forces as well as maximize internal alliance potential, is heavily driven by establishing a solid alliance foundation that includes experience, mutual trust, strong relationships, and sound business rationale. Clear? That basically includes experience, mutual trust, stronger relationships, and sound business rationale. Clear? So basically, what is the ability? Clear? What is the reason behind the strong alliance? The ability to bear or weather external forces as well as maximize internal alliance potential. Clear? As well as maximize internal alliance potential is heavily driven. Clear? Basically, it is heavily driven by establishing a solid alliance foundation. Clear? Basically, it is heavily driven by establishing a solid alliance foundation that includes experience, mutual trust, strong relationship, and sound business rationale. So, strategic alliance and collaborative approach. Clear? Strategic alliance and collaborative approach as an alternative to the mergers and acquisition. Clear? So, strategic alliance basically it is an alternative. Basically, for what? To the merger and acquisition. Clear? We have to discuss regarding that also. Basically, what are merger or what is acquisition? Clear? We have to discuss the different types of the merger also. Okay, in the upcoming slides. Clear? So, strategic alliance and collaborative approach as an alternative to merger and acquisition could be attempted. Clear? Basically, could be attempted to reduce the transaction cost. Clear? Could be attempted basically to reduce the transaction cost. Basically, how? Through outsourcing, leverage synergies basically in the operations, and thus avoid problems related to the cultural integration. Clear? And thus avoid problems related to the cultural integration. Clear? So strategic alliance and the collaborative approach as an alternative to the mergers and acquisition basically could be attempted to reduce the transaction cost through the outsourcing, leverage synergies basically in the operation, and thus avoid problems related to the cultural integration. Clear? And thus avoid problem basically related to the cultural integrations. Clear? So just simple, sometimes basically they can ask in the examination basically which of the following is an alternative to the merger and acquisition. Just you have to answer that is strategic alliance. Clear? That is strategic alliance basically it is an alternative to the merger and the acquisition. Now move, that is if merger or consolidation is difficult to achieve. Clear? Basically if merger or consolidation basically it is difficult to achieve, so this alternative basically could be tried. This alternative basically that is the which we have already discussed, that is the alliance. Alliance alternative basically could be tried. Clear? So rapid expansion. Clear? Rapid expansion basically in the foreign markets without sufficient knowledge of the local economic conditions. Clear? Rapid expansion basically in the foreign markets without sufficient knowledge of the local economic conditions could increase vulnerability of the individual banks, and hence a strategic alliance basically with the local player basically could be a better solution. Clear? Like any foreign company, if they are basically investing in India, clear? So they will do tie-up. Clear? Before coming into India, basically they will do tie-up basically with an Indian company. Clear? That will help us to maintain their business in that country. Clear? Or for the growth. Clear? Or for the growth. So at that time, basically strategic alliance basically it is very much beneficial. So like they are giving an example like alliance is the coming together of three mid-sized public sector banks, that is Indian Bank, Corporation Bank, and Oriental Commerce of Bank, Oriental Bank of Commerce, that is OBC, which have entered into strategic alliance basically in October 2006. Clear? In October 2006. Clear? Basically for any specific work. Clear? The alliance intended to help the banks. Clear? Basically what is the reason basically behind that alliance? The alliance basically intended to help the banks leverage their combined balance sheet strength and share the benefits of economics of scale, is a reflective of the dynamics basically at play in the Indian banking space today. Clear? That is basically just like we can say that basically 3 or 4 banks basically do any alliance, clear, basically for any specific project, clear, basically for any specific project, clear, or we can say that basically for any bigger loan that is beneficial for the organization also, clear, that they have a strong balance sheet, clear, strong balance sheet, so that they can bear up to that much. We can say that basically they are able to give that much advance or loan. So please tell fast now. It is clear to all of you till now. Like what is the meaning of the lines? Please tell fast. It is clear to all of you. Like what is the meaning of the lines? And where basically this alliance is to be considered, that is basically in the place of the merger or acquisition. Now move to the next one. Strategic alliance benefits. Clear. Now basically we have to discuss basically what are the benefits of the strategic alliance. First one is increase in capital for the research and product development, and yet lower risk, that is innovation, clear, and yet lower risk, that is innovation, clear. Like basically we can say that basically if any organization basically working in the technology sector, clear, so they will collaborate, clear, basically they will collaborate basically with any company that is working in the manufacturing sector, clear, that is basically one is technology, second one is the manufacturing, clear. So both are collaborating, clear. So one is working continuously basically on the technology development, and other one is basically implementing that technology, clear, basically implementing that technology. So that's the same thing basically they are saying here. Okay, so increase in capital basically for the research and product development, and yet lower risk, clear. Second one is basically decrease in product lead times and life cycles. Ability to bring together complementary skills, clear, basically ability to bring together complementary skills and assets that neither the company could easily develop basically on its own, clear. So ability to bring together complementary skills and assets that neither company could easily develop basically on its own, clear, that neither company could easily develop basically on its own. Next one is basically access to knowledge and expertise basically beyond company borders, clear, like that is technology transfer, clear. If one is basically developing the technology and other one is basically implementing that technology, clear, we can see that like here. Rapidly achieve scale, critical mass and momentum, that is basically we can say that basically earlier basically there is one organization, second one is basically manufacturing, clear, basically this organization has a technology, along with this technology basically they have also the manpower, they have basically lack of the labor, but they have machinery. So both comes under the alliance, clear, that is rapidly achieve the scale, critical mass and momentum. Expansion of the channel and international market pressure. Building credibility basically in the industry and brand awareness. Providing added value basically to the customer, like we can say that basically if they are further collaborating basically with any, like we can say that is the organization basically technology, one is technology, second one basically we can say that manufacturing, third one is a delivery, clear, that is basically they can deliver their products also, that is basically we can say that like it is a value added, clear, basically within the same organization you will get all these types of services, clear. So they are saying that basically providing added value basically to the customers. Last one point, that is establishing technological standards, clear, establishing basically technological standards for the industry that will benefit the firm, clear, establishing technological standards for the industry basically that will benefit the firm, clear, that will benefit the firm, clear. So basically we have to implement any new technology basically that helps to reduce our time basically and also help us in the accuracy, clear, in the more accuracy. Okay, so basically this is the basic discussion regarding the strategic alliance and what are the benefits of that, clear, what are the benefits of that. So basically we have discussed all these points. Now move to the next one here, that is some examples of the strategic alliance, clear, some examples of the strategic alliance. Basically with the help of this example you are able to understand what is the exact reason behind that, clear. Like here basically they are asking a strategic alliance basically between two organizations, that is one is the bank and other is the telecom agency, clear, that is ICICI Bank and the Vodafone India, clear, ICICI Bank and the Vodafone India. So here what they are saying that basically strategic alliance example basically in India is of the ICICI Bank, India's largest private sector bank, and Vodafone India, clear, basically Vodafone India basically one of the India's largest telecom service provider, clear. So a strategic alliance example basically in India is of the ICICI Bank, that is India's largest private sector bank, and the Vodafone India, one of the India's largest telecom service providers, entered into a strategic alliance. Clear, basically they are entered into a strategic alliance basically for what? Basically to launch a unique mobile money transfer and payment service. Clear, basically application, to launch a mobile application that is basically a unique mobile money transfer and payment service. Clear, that is basically called as the M-Pesa. And that application basically it is called as the M-Pesa. Clear. So you are able to remember that. Clear, that is just M-Pesa. It is the app launched by the ICICI Bank in collaboration basically with the Vodafone India. And what it tells that one is the bank and second one is the network industry or network platform. Clear, network platform. Clear. So both are collaborating. Clear, basically to do a specific work. Clear, to do a specific work. So this is the definition of the, or basically we can say that this is the example of the or understanding of the strategic alliance. Like basically next one is a Spotify and the Uber. Clear, Spotify and the Uber. So the power to enter the hired car, welcomed by your favorite playlist, provides extra value. Clear, basically if you are basically entering in any hired car, clear, like Uber, Ola. Clear, and when you are entering, clear, basically they will play your favorite songs. Clear, that is basically it considered to be as a extra value. Clear, significant competitive advantage and exclusively basically for the Uber cars. Clear, for Spotify basically to offer an incentive for users to upgrade basically to the premium level. Clear, to upgrade basically from to the premium level, that is basically from the free, they will give you an incentive or we can say that a like discount. Clear, to upgrade to the premium level. Okay, so that is basically the meaning example of the strategic alliance. Now move to the next one. Clear, now move to the next one. Hope this all these points are clear to all of you. Now move to the next one here, that is merger. Clear, that is merger. So what is merger? Merger basically also known as amalgamation. Clear, basically merger basically it is also known as amalgamation. That is basically it is defined as the combination of two or more companies. Clear, merger basically that is also known as amalgamation. Basically it is defined as the combination of two or more companies basically into a single company. Clear, merger basically also known as the amalgamation. Basically it is defined as the combination of two or more companies basically into a single company. Clear, this one is company one, this one is company two. Clear, both are joined. Clear, basically with the two or more companies. Clear, we consider like this one. Clear, into a single company where one survives with its names. Clear, like C1, C2, C3, and last one basically we have named C1. Clear, where one survives with its name or basically combined name and the other basically loses their corporate existence. Clear, like basically we can say that example of the banks merger, like we have PNB, OBC. I think third one is the United Bank of India. So out of the three, clear, basically when they are merged, clear, that is basically PNB, OBC, and all these, both these two basically merged with the PNB. Clear, both these two basically merged with the PNB, and the last final name that is left, that is PNB. Clear, along with the PNB, you will find the logo of or basically the name of both these two banks also. Clear, along with that basically, but the main that is the PNB. Clear, Punjab National Bank. Clear, just for the understanding purpose, I will give you the example that is clear, basically where one survives with its name and the other basically lose their corporate existence. Clear, and the other basically lost their corporate existence. Clear, that is basically known as a merger. Clear. So, but as per the dictionary, clear, sometimes basically they will ask this technical type of question. Clear. So, what is the meaning of that? That is basically according to the Oxford Dictionary, merger, which is basically what is merger? Basically, merger means combining of the two commercial companies basically into one. Clear, basically merger basically that is basically used for the two. That is combining of two commercial companies basically into the one. And next one basically what is the amalgamation? Amalgamation basically means merging of two or more business concerns into the one. Clear, basically amalgamation, what it means that clear, amalgamation basically means merging of two or more concerns, clear, basically into one, clear. The simple language we can say that basically when there is two or more, in that case, clear, basically in that case, basically we will consider it to be the amalgamation, clear. So all the assets and liabilities, basically both on and off balance sheet items of the merging company gets transferred basically to the surviving company, clear. Of the merging company basically gets transferred to of the surviving company, clear. Like basically any person, if they have basically purchased the shares of the OBC Bank or the United Bank of India, clear, that basically finally, as per the basically dealing between them, that shares basically will be forward basically, or basically that share basically will be converted into the PNB, clear. That share basically will be converted into the PNB, clear. So an example basically of this type of amalgamation basically in the Indian banking industry is the Global Trust Bank Limited basically with the Oriental Bank of Commerce, clear. That is Global Trust Bank Limited, basically with the OBC, that is Oriental Bank of Commerce. And further, later on, basically this bank, it is merged with the PNB, clear. It is merged with the PNB, clear. Hope it is clear to all of you. Basically, as per the dictionary meaning, what is the meaning of the merger and what is the meaning of the amalgamation? Now move to the next one. What are the objectives? That clear, basically diversify the area of activities, achieve optimum size of the business. Second one is basically remove certain key factors and other bottlenecks of the input supply clear. Third one is the improve profitability. Fourth one is serve the customer better, clear. Fourth one here, that is basically serve the customer better, clear. So these are some of the objectives, clear. Basically these are some of the objectives of the merger. Next one is basically achieve economics of scale and size, internal and external, just simple things, no that much, not any typical, clear. Next one is basically acquire the assets at basically the lower price than the market price. So next one is basically that is bring the separate enterprises basically under single control. Next one, last, very, very important, basically grow without any gestation period. Like basically we can say that the holiday period, clear. Like basically this much time basically we will require to perform, clear. Basically grow without any gestation period and nurse a sick unit, clear. And get tax advantages basically by acquiring a running concern, clear. And get tax advantages basically by acquiring a running concern. Why? Because basically when we establish a new unit, clear, basically we have to taxes basically for all the equipments basically, or for the registration basically we have to pay the taxes, clear. And basically when we will buy a running unit, basically we will get benefit of that, clear. Basically we will get benefit of that. So now next one is basically what are the different types of the merger, clear. So basically there are four types of the merger. First one is the horizontal merger, second one is the vertical merger, third one is the concentric merger, fourth one is the conglomerate mergers, clear. There are basically four types of the merger. First one is the horizontal merger, second one is the vertical merger, third one is the concentric merger, fourth one is the conglomerate merger, clear. So today in this session basically we will discuss only the horizontal merger, and next three mergers basically we have to discuss in the next session. And definitely you will get, I will say that basically definitely you will get here basically 0.5 mark question. 0.5 mark question basically either from these any of the four mergers. First one is the horizontal merger, second one is the vertical merger, third one is the concentric merger, fourth one is the conglomerate merger, clear. So now let's discuss one by one regarding all these mergers. First one is the horizontal merger, clear. Basically first one here is the horizontal merger, clear. So horizontal merger basically normally involve the merger of two or more companies, clear. Horizontal merger basically normally involve the merger of two or more companies which are producing similar products, clear. Basically horizontal, that is basically merger of two or more companies basically that are producing similar products, clear. Basically that are producing similar products. There's a horizontal merger basically normally involve the merger of two or more companies which are producing similar products or rendering the same type of service, clear. Basically either they are producing the same type of products, or we can say that, or basically they are providing the same type of services, clear. That is products or services basically which compete directly with each other, clear. Basically which compete directly basically with each other, clear. So this type of merger, clear. Basically this type of merger basically normally results in the reduction in the number of players basically in that particular industry and may reduce or eliminate competition, clear. And they may reduce or eliminate competition, clear. Like we can say that basically if there is any street or basically any city, clear, basically there are 5 workshops, And all these workshops basically we consider working in the same field. Clear? So it is better if they will collaborate. Clear? Basically they will collaborate and do the work. Clear? Or we consider basically like out of the 5, basically 2 will collaborate, rest will not collaborate. Clear? So it depends upon case to case. Clear? So this type of merger basically normally results in the reduction in the number of players in that particular industry and may reduce or eliminate the competition. Clear? And basically in that basically they will reduce or eliminate the competition. Clear? Now let's understand basically this thing basically with the help of the example. Like in the banking industry basically in India, acquisition of Times Bank by the HDFC and Bank of Madura by the ICICI Bank. Clear? And Nedangudi Bank by Punjab National Bank, etc. Clear? Basically in the consumer electronics, like this is basically of the horizontal merger. Clear? Like basically both are working in the same field. Clear? Both are working in the same field. Clear? This is basically regarding the banking we have already discussed. Now they will ask basically some other basic question. Next one, that is acquisition of the electronics Indians operation basically by the Videocon International Limited or BPO sector, or acquisition of Daksh by IBM. Clear? Spectre or Spectra Mind by Wipro, etc. Clear? So these are all the examples of the horizontal merger. Why? Because all these are working in the same field. Clear? Because all these are working basically in the same field. Clear? So the main objective, clear, very, very important. This one is a 0.5 mark question. Clear? The main objective of the horizontal merger basically is to benefit from economics of scales, reduce competition, achieve monopoly, basically achieve monopoly status, and control the market. Clear? And control the market. Clear? So the main objective of the horizontal merger basically is to benefit from the economics of scales, reduce the competition. Clear? Because if there are 5% basically earlier working in the same field, now basically they are collaborating. 2 will collaborate basically in one firm, and the rest 3 basically will collaborate basically in the another firm. Clear? Basically that is basically we are reducing the competition, achieve monopoly status, and control the market. Clear? And control the market. Clear? This is the overall discussion of the horizontal merger. Clear? And in this session basically we have to discuss up to this much point. In the next session basically we have to discuss regarding the acquisition and the 3 remaining different types of merger. That is, first one is the vertical merger, second one is the horizontal merger, and third one basically it is the horizontal merger, vertical merger, third one is the concentric merger, fourth one is the conglomerate merger. Clear? So we have to cover all this merger in the next session. Clear? This we have already covered. Clear? So thanks to all of you for joining this session, and I request to all of you, please do revision. Clear? Please do revision so that you are able to understand all these points. So thanks to all of you for joining this session.